Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, I talked a little bit last time about the painted lady butterfly experiments that I was going to do. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my other videos. But anyway, okay, so I said I was going to try the Prevlicid, and I knew that they wouldn't probably live on that, and of course they did not. The interesting thing is with the B12, which I put in this cup here, like you can't see them, they're really tiny, but they're actually growing faster so far. I don't know if they'll live, but they're growing faster. And then I have more eggs. So there's nothing mixed in this. It's just the regular artificial diet. So there's eggs in there, which I'm waiting to hatch. And there's like a ton in the box I have in the living room. I'm going to have to get you guys some video of the actual butterflies that I have and like the chrysalises and everything. And if you're on my Facebook page, you can see that stuff because I post, those things. But I want to talk also about the fact that my heart rate has been a lot slower. Like after surgery, it was a lot faster, and there's a couple of reasons why. I have someone who emails me about chronic Lyme disease, and there's a syndrome that occurs when there's mass bacteria die off, and so that could have been partly the reason why, even though I don't know if I have had Lyme, have Lyme, or whatever. That's for another video. I don't even want to get into that right now. But my heart rate sitting is pretty good compared to my normal. And I told you guys I would do updates. So my sitting right now isn't that great, but it's good for me. Okay, you can see it's 91 sitting, 92, and everything like that. Now what I need to do is show you guys my standing, which I'm not going to do right now, but my standing heart rate, as you guys know, because I've been complaining for years about it, is 120 to 140, sometimes 160. All of this week, it has been probably no higher than 115, but usually in the 90s when I'm standing. In fact, that 91, 92 that you just saw, it's a little bit high right now, but I've been getting 76, which is like perfect for sitting. And so that's been working out. I have no idea what was wrong with me, but I know definitely that those antibiotics did something. I just hope that it lasts for what it did. And then also, I have been able to, because it's been nice weather, and I hate the treadmill because you just kind of like keep walking in place. And so I have been walking outside, and so every like hour, every couple hours in the evening, I walk out, and I live in an apartment complex that has a courtyard. So what I do is I come out my door, I go down the courtyard, I go all the way around this circle in the courtyard, I go back down, I walk to the corner to the mailbox, which I said in a lot of my videos, I can't even get to the mailbox. I'm so sick I can't even get to the mailbox. I go to the mailbox now, just with my walking, somewhere around 10, 15 times a day. So, for all the people out there who said, you're not sick, it's in your head, F you. I mean, seriously, I was sick. I couldn't breathe half the time. My other videos, I was always clearing my throat. People kept saying, stop clearing your throat, it distorts your microphone. I couldn't help it, and I started coughing up, brown stuff, green stuff. And this was going on for a very, very long time. Now, my theory is this, and it's only a theory or a hypothesis, and I got very, very sick during the benzo withdrawal, more so than some people, and a little bit better than others, because I've had people who have emailed me who have had worse happen to them. But I think that my immune system probably dropped, or it was just weakened because of how sick I was. And I probably picked up some type of bacterial infection, and it just took hold. And then even when I got better from the benzo withdrawal, I couldn't kick the actual infection at that point. And I tried everything I was telling you guys I'm looking up, because I'm looking at the supplements I have. I was taking vitamin C in high doses, lysine in high doses, vitamin D in high doses, which I still take the vitamin D. I think I might have kept myself alive with whatever was wrong with me. I would try to exercise. I would, juice things. And I think I was too far gone for natural remedies, or at least with my knowledge of natural remedies, I was too far gone to actually cure the bacterial infection. And also, it comes a point where if you can't eat properly and you're too tired to go to the store, you're not exactly getting fruits and vegetables. And there was no one in my life at that time, and even now, who would go to the store and get those things for me. So I was working with what I had, and what I had wasn't a whole lot, but I would order stuff from like Walmart.com, like the supplements and everything. And like I noticed that when I would drink, because it was trying all different things, back then, I would, drink, because people say, well, if you have GERD, drink vinegar mixed with water, like a tablespoon of vinegar mixed with like, 16 ounces of water. And I did. And my GERD would stop, but it wouldn't last. And then I thought, okay, well, let me go and try, the baking soda thing. So I went and moved on to baking soda, and I put like a teaspoon of baking soda into, when I say a teaspoon, it's kind of like a heaping teaspoon. It's probably too much. And I put it into one of an empty Gatorade bottle like this, and I filled it up, and I would drink that in the morning, and then I would drink it again at night with another heaping teaspoon. When I did that, I actually felt better, and like the coloring issue that I had that I talked about, which I won't bring up, in this video, it became normal, and I had less bloating, less pain. But again, it wouldn't last. And so I was doing a lot of trial and error with my experiments with myself to try to get rid of it, since, as you all know, I was going to doctors and they weren't doing anything. I think the antibiotics that they gave me prior to the appendectomy and then after the appendectomy has definitely cleared something up, at least for now. And I want to continue, on that path, which is why I keep making myself walk. Like now that I have some health back, don't get me wrong, I still have bad days, but now that I have it back, I don't ever want to lose it again. And I had said, in previous videos, like when I talked about the lung surgery, I was sick for 2 years before that, and doctors would say, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. And with this, I was complaining again for 2 years, and I kept saying, something's going to happen. I'm either going to collapse, I'm going to die, or I'm going to end up in the emergency room and having to have surgery. And it was at least an option that allowed me to survive. I ended up in the ER, and I had a surgery. Now, I don't think that I would have had to have an appendectomy if whatever was wrong with me was caught in time, or if they had given me a broad spectrum antibiotic before this. Because from what I understand now about the appendix is when you have an infection, it kind of sometimes will swell, even if it's not in that location, because like bacteria is circulating through your body. And so it may have eventually, my body could have become so overwhelmed that it caused the appendicitis. And then by default, because they gave me the antibiotics, I got better. I can't allow that to happen again because I don't really have any other organs that can come out except for, I guess, my spleen, one kidney, and a gallbladder. And so I don't want to have to, come to that again. But overall, I still feel good. I'm still not clearing my throat in my videos. I don't feel like I'm choking as much. I am still not able to get, I showed in another video this. I'm only getting the 2,500. I should be able to get to 4,000. I can't do that yet, although sometimes I'm hitting 3,000 now. I am going to start changing my diet, not as drastically as I had once. Now, if you really watch my videos, and I know some people watch one or two and they email me so they have no idea what I'm talking about or what's happened, over the past couple of years. And I did a video about like an anti-anxiety diet, anti-panic attack diet, and I jumped onto that so quick. I went right from a normal diet right into it, and I remember getting so sick for like the first week, and then I started reporting my anxiety was lower, and it was, but I had problems already in my body at that point, and I was still on Xanax at that point. So I was having, it's hard to say, how much maybe the Xanax worked better with the diet. Maybe the sickness was being controlled more so, or knocking back some bacteria that I was unaware that I had at that point. So I want to go back onto a healthy diet. However, I'm not jumping onto it as quickly as I did before. I want to start, getting more fruits and vegetables, which I always push for you guys too. But I want to have this out while I'm doing it. And this is going to sound so unhealthy, but what I would like to do is all day long from the time I wake up is just do, fruits and vegetables, either juicing, boiling them, eating that, having plain rice, boiled beans, stuff like that. And then like it gets a point when you're going onto diets, and if you've ever done a drastic diet change, you get this horrible craving. But I don't want to have a lot of food in the house where I can just keep going all day long and microwaving pizzas and microwaving corn dogs and stuff like that, so I won't have to go get it. So I've looked up some things online, like with fast food restaurants, where you can at least get the lesser of the evils. And I don't talk about the apple slices or anything from McDonald's, so I'm like not eating that healthy. But if I had to pick something, I would pick, like the filet of fish. And at Taco Bell, I'd probably pick the Nacho Bel Grande only because it has 14 grams of fiber in it. Things like that. But that's not saying I'm going to sit here and eat all this fast food. I just mean towards the end when I start to get really hungry, my body hasn't adapted yet, just throw something in that has a lot of calories um, until I get used to, the new diet. And I'm not even sure exactly what diet I'm going to be doing because I've talked about a couple different ones. I would like to do, which I did a whole video series on the MSG free diet, which obviously I won't be doing when I'm eating Taco Bell or McDonald's with the new diet, but I think I can get myself, to that point. I want everybody who is not taking vitamin D at this point to do one of two things. If you're too scared to have your blood drawn and you're too scared to take vitamin D, just make sure you're taking a good multivitamin, and it probably won't hurt you at all, though ask your doctor, even if you say, I don't want to have the test done, but this won't hurt me. And as far as the US RDA goes, the upper limit is 4,000 international units. So just get something really cheap, like this. It's vitamin D3, don't get D2, get D3. And it's 1,000 international units. And you can just take that once a day with a meal, or it has to be taken with fat. So you want to do it with a meal, or if you take, I just cleared my throat, but that was for a different reason. And you want to take it with milk or something, anything that has fat in it. And the multivitamin, of course, you want to take with a meal. So everything, because some of these vitamins are like, fat soluble. So you need to, absorb them properly. You want to also just try that, because I'm telling you right now, I had like not a bad depression going on, but like this underlying depression that I'm aware of now that I wasn't aware of so much before. And after about 4 weeks of taking the vitamin D, I started to feel better. Now, when I say feel better, I did not have a mental breakdown when my mother died, and I did not have a mental breakdown after I had surgery. I don't think I was any sadder than what I should have been, if not less sad than I should have possibly been over those events. And so I highly recommend that. I would not recommend the vitamin C that I was taking at that level. I think it caused me, with my symptoms, to have a little bit more heartburn. There is buffered vitamin C, which I have not tried yet, but I was taking the ascorbic acid. And so if that's something you're doing, just maybe space out your dose, or maybe don't take it on an empty stomach, because I was taking it on an empty stomach, so that could have been, the problem with that. But I'm going to let you go. It's already 13 minutes, and something else I really want to say, except for if I end up getting a lot of these painted lady butterfly chrysalises, which I won't right away because I'm like really messing up like with raising them. But if I get it down pat, if any of you out there have interests in butterflies, I can always ship you some chrysalises, so they'll hatch. You'll have some butterflies. I'm not going to charge you for them at this point, because when it comes fall and winter especially, it's not like I can let them go somewhere. So if I'm still doing it by then, I'll let you guys know in a future video, and I'd be more than happy, to send you a few here and there, so you guys can kind of, get into it too. And and one last thing, the Sphinx, the bald cat, I have been posting pictures on my Facebook, and I'm trying to find anyone on there who breeds them, because I can't afford one, so it's going to have to be a gift, and I had mentioned it in another video. And what I would like is, now I've noticed a couple people on Facebook are posting to their friends that I want one, so hopefully through, that 6 degrees of separation, I'll eventually get one. If you do not know what a Sphinx cat is, just go to Google and type in Sphinx, like the thing in the pyramids, and put in cat, and you can see they look like a regular cat, only they're bald. Sometimes they have blue eyes, some they have green eyes, blue and green eyes. But I have wanted that cat, for so long, and I figured, well, maybe someone will give me one, and then I'll do videos, holding it once I have it. And you can all look in horror at my bald cat. But alright, I'll talk to you all later, and email me if you have any ideas or questions or, whatnot. If this is the first video you're watching of me, you've made it this far, just try to go back through some of my videos, if not all of them, so you know what's going on and how I got to where I am and what I'm talking about, because I know that people who have watched all of them, they have a much larger insight into what's been happening. So, all right, so have a good day, everyone. Bye. Emails me about chronic Lyme disease, and there's a syndrome that occurs when there's mass bacteria die off, and so that could have been partly the reason why, even though I don't know if I have had Lyme, have Lyme, or whatever. That's for another video. I don't even want to get into that right now. But my heart rate sitting is pretty good compared to my normal. And I told you guys I would do updates. So in this cup here, like you can't see them, they're really tiny, but they're actually growing faster so far. I don't know if they'll live, but they're growing faster. And then I have more eggs, so there's nothing mixed in this. It's just the regular artificial diet. So there's eggs in there, which I'm waiting to hatch, and there's like a ton in the box I have in the living room. I'm gonna have to get you guys. Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, I talked a little bit last time about the paint-lated butterfly experiments that I was gonna do. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my other videos. But anyway, okay, so I said I was gonna try the Prevlicid, and I knew that they wouldn't probably live on that, and of course they did not. The interesting thing is with the B12, which I put as in like, video of the actual butterflies that I have and like the chrysalises and everything. And if you're on my Facebook page, you can see that stuff because I post, those things. But I want to talk also about the fact that my heart rate has been a lot slower. Like after surgery, it was a lot faster. And there's a couple of reasons why. I have someone who, my sitting right now isn't that great, but it's good for me, okay? You can see it's 91 sitting, 92, and everything like that. Now what I need to do is show you guys my standing, which I'm not going to do right now, but my standing